my fellow Legionnaires, Legion family, members, and friends. Many national commanders have stood before you and thanked you for a wonderful ride. But for me, I want to thank you for a wonderful walk. When I asked for your support in conducting awareness walks for veterans, I had no idea by the end of my term as National Commander, I would have participated in 43 of them in 34 different states. But even better, some departments held walks without me. I say even better because the walks are not about me. They are about you, the American Legion family. They're about the great young people, many of you seen in the video, of this country. And they're about our military, the bravery that they show in defending us and the struggles some have when they return. Like I said in the video, each honk of the horn is a potential member. When motorists and spectators see the American flag, a veteran's cap, the American Legion emblem, they like to show their support. And when I was in the Iowa State Fair a couple weeks ago, there was about 100,000 of them that cheered us on that awareness walk. It's up to all of us to transfer that support into American Legion family membership and opportunities to serve our nation. We are a strong organization and a very strong family, but we could be stronger. Numbers do matter, and we can get those numbers as I addressed the membership committee in August with the 3 Ps: people, planning, and passion. You will hear more about this during the membership report tomorrow. But keep in mind that everything you hear over the next 3 days about our programs, activities, and issue advocacy is entirely based on our membership. We need the American Legion to stand strong against voices in Washington that wish to close the VA and outsource the responsibility of caring for veterans to the private sector, and we're going to stand strong and say no. It wasn't the private sector that sent our veterans to war, it was Uncle Sam. A recent report from the Rand Corporation confirmed that what we already knew, that VA care is equal to, or in many categories better than, private care sector. At the same time, though, we know that the VA has some very serious problems that need correcting. I spoke out loudly against VA executives abusing an overly generous relocation allowance system, and the American Legion stood alone as a veteran service organization 2 years ago in boldly calling for the resignation of the former VA secretary. We need to insist that the VA holds its poor performers accountable and fire those who fail to serve veterans with respect. But you can't fire your way out of a problem. And you can't call firing reform without addressing the root causes. While we welcome positive reform, our sole criteria in supporting any legislation is whether or not it's good for veterans. We do know that modernizing the appeal process would be good for veterans. More than 1.4 million claims for disabilities were processed last year alone. But with 10 to 12% of the claims being appealed, the lengthy wait times and workload continue to increase and may never disappear. But we will work with the VA, we will work with Congress, and we will remedy these problems. We also insist that members of our military be given the resources that they need to succeed and the quality of life that they need to flourish. We have an all-volunteer force, and we must provide attractive and stable career opportunities if we want to recruit the high-quality young people that we need in today's competitive marketplace. We need to stand with our troops who every day put their lives on the line to protect us all. It was very alarming for me to visit the troops in Europe and to learn that they have endured a 75% reduction in active duty manpower since I transitioned from there in the 1990s. Attacks against the United States and our allies are happening with greater frequency and lethality. Peace through strength is not just a bumper sticker. It's a moral responsibility. We have a responsibility to keep America strong for another pillar of the American people, our young people. I had the pleasure to meet a young 9-year-old Alan Landers of St. Petersburg, Florida. And Florida, I want to hear from you. Before I started my walks, Alan started a Superheroes Fun Run in Pinellas Park. He wanted to raise money so that World War II veterans could attend honor flights and see the national memorials in Washington. And when I visited with Alan this year, he had raised over $30,000 in 3 years. And his next fundraiser will be October 8 in Dunedin, Florida. And if you're anywhere close to there, join the Department of Florida in a great event. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what young people in this country are capable of. And I'm proud of Alan, and Alan is a member of the Sons of the American Legion. He's our future. I'm so proud of the history of the American Legion family. On Veterans Day, I was invited to the White House, but something told me that I belonged somewhere else. So I asked my National Vice Commander, David Goff, to represent me at the White House. And I joined the Department of Alabama as we walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma. We hear so much about the shameful times in Selma when African Americans couldn't vote and civil rights workers were beaten. But I was also able to see an important part of the American Legion and our history and impact on that city. The story of 1926. The American Legion took the KKK to task. Because in the Selma Cemetery, there was a World War I memorial, but a few names were left off the memorial. They were the names of those that had died that were of color. But the American Legion said, this is wrong. A veteran is a veteran. They took the Klan to court, and we won. And those names were added to the memorial that today is the centerpiece of the Selma Cemetery. Fast forward to another generation, to World War II, when the American Legion drafted the greatest piece of social legislation ever passed, the GI Bill. But many in Congress wanted to oppose giving equal educational benefits to black veterans. We insisted otherwise. And again, we prevailed. This year, on June 22nd, it was an honor to unveil the Harry Comery Memorial in Topeka, Kansas, a memorial to the American Legion and our past national commander who wrote that GI Bill. And he was honored with several American Legion family members there as one of the 13 greatest Kansans on that very warm day in Topeka, Kansas. But more recently, and again, we were told that a new 9/11 GI Bill would cause mid-grade troops to exit the military in droves so they could use their benefits. We insisted that it pass because it was the right thing to do. And it did pass because of the American Legion. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, America needs the American Legion. As people, we have shown a willingness to die for our country, if called. We not only represent the conscience of America, but we are often the heartbeat of our communities. We are the ones organizing homecomings, conducting blood donation drives, hosting job fairs, and speaking to school children every day. We are the guardians of our nation's flag, the honor guard at funerals, and the sympathetic ear for our wounded warriors, wanting to discuss the horrors of war with people who understand. We are the baseball coaches, the boys and girls state counselors, and the scoutmasters. This is why we walk for veterans, not only to honor their service, but to remind people of the programs and camaraderie that we offer. An estimated 20 veterans a day commit suicide, and the American Legion message is not one more should die. Pills are not the solution, PALs are. The American Legion does not oppose medication, but we certainly are against over-medication simply because healthcare providers are too busy to actually solve the problem. And that's perhaps the most valuable service we can offer to a veteran, to be their friend, to just listen, to relate, to support, and to defend. We are the advocates for alternative therapy, better treatment for traumatic brain injuries, and the top state-of-the-art prosthetics. We are the voice for veterans who are sometimes unable to speak for themselves. That includes veterans who may be down on their luck or living in the streets. The VA has made great progress in cutting veterans' homelessness. But if you recall, the promise was made 7 years ago to this convention 7 years ago that it would be eliminated. Progress has been made, but a focus should remain on the issue. There are many factors to play, but the American Legion will not be satisfied with the status quo until every veteran can obtain a decent job and have safe and comfortable housing. Some of our brothers and sisters in arms have made mistakes, serious ones. But I couldn't help but be impressed by the commitment shown by the Legionnaires and the sons of the American Legion members that I recently visited at the Pendleton Maximum Security Correctional Facility in Indiana. They conducted by-the-book meetings and are highly successful fundraisers, supporting great causes such as the Special Olympics, and on my visit presented a check for $2,700 to the National Emergency Fund. Pretty incredible. The enthusiasm that they showed for the American Legion was inspiring to all of us that visited that day, that facility. And when we walked out that prison gate, it made all of us appreciate the freedoms that the rest of us in society can enjoy. But that freedom did not come cheap. It's available to us only because previous generations of veterans have died for it. The American Legion has almost completed a century of service to our nation. We are a beloved institution, that it is because the American people know that we stand for something. We stand for what is good about America. We stand for our military. We stand for our veterans. We stand for our youth. But we also have a pillar called Americanism. And when all the discussions we hear between the major political candidates, we don't hear many people discussing the need to protect Old Glory from desecration. Opponents tell us it's a rare occurrence. I have to wonder if they're watching the same newscasts and are viewing the same websites that I have seen. And if that's a rare occurrence, then why are they opposed to the amendment that would affect such a small group of people? Our resolution has not changed. Our resolve has not changed. Congress needs to pass a flag amendment now, and we have waited long enough. And nothing epitomizes Americanism like the right to vote. People have died so that we have that privilege. We are not partisans in the American Legion. We are patriots. Regardless of who you vote for, please don't take the right for granted. And you can never go wrong if you base that vote on the 4 pillars of the American Legion. When you elected me as your national commander, I challenge you to dedicate yourself to the principles of duty, honor, country. After touring all of our departments inside and outside the United States, I want to thank you. You are accomplishing that mission. You are making every day count. God bless all of you. Thank you very much for a great year.